Bite By Night has its 5 survivor classes, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to play them effectively and some tips to help you out. The 5 classes are Customer, Medic, Security Guard, Fighter, and Technician. I'll be going over what your main role for that class is, and some little extra tips to help you out when you're playing. But first, let's start out with their first survivor, Customer. First, we'll be going over their 2 main abilities. Customer has their Pizza and their Drink ability. Pizza heals 20% of the survivor's missing health. For example, when the survivor is at 30 HP, it heals 14 HP. So take 100 minus 30 equals 70 HP, right? So 20% of 70 equals 14. So that's why it looks like you heal more or less than usual. It just depends how much health you're missing. While you're eating your pizza, you also slow down the decent amount, but it's not that bad. Customer's second ability is Drink. When you drink, you get 5 seconds of speed and Energetic for 15 seconds. Energetic halves your stamina drain for the time it is active. You also get Rest for 20 seconds. Rest is a debuff that grants 50% slower stamina regeneration for the time it is active. And when Energetic ends, the survivor gains slowness for 3 seconds. Your main job as Customer is to loot because you are a survivalist. You can do plenty of dumb things and still be fine. For Springtrap's traps and Enard's wire eyes, if you see a teammate struggling and getting cut off, you can either tank a hit in the trap and an M1 if the disarming will take too long and eat the damage. And the same goes with the Enard's wire eyes. You can take the damage and move them out of the way so your teammate doesn't have to get cornered by them. You can do this as Customer because of your Pizza. The Pizza is such a good ability because you're able to heal in the middle of chase, in the middle of anything, and it heals for a decent amount and it's only on a 30-second cooldown. You can take the damage from the Springtrap traps or Enard's wire eyes and heal yourself right back up, and it's so good for helping your teammates out while they're in chase. On some occasions, you can also take hits for teammates when Springtrap throws his axe, and when Enard's in his skin stealer mode and he tries to grab your other teammate, you can take the hit for them. Just remember, when you're doing these things, the killer might target onto you because you're already low on health from tanking the hits, but this is what you want as Customer. You want to be a distraction. You want to be a distraction and be chased all the time because you have the survivability abilities. You have the Pizza to heal you up in mid-chase because it's on such a short cooldown and you can do it while being chased, and the Drink allows you to get away if you have a decent amount of distance. If you can use it mid-chase, you get such a big gap and they just will never catch you. Even if you are in a bad situation, you can have teammates like Fighters to help block the doors or any other people to block the doors and just help you if you ever get into that tight spot. Just make sure, if you want to be a really good Customer player and help out your team the best that you can, you have to be really good at stamina management, good at looping, know all the looping spots. Besides taking hits, Customers and all classes can close the doors for your teammates so they have more time to get away. Just make sure you're doing this as Customer because that's the only way you can really help. Your main strengths as Customer is to be a big distraction, and if your teammates are in a chase, tank hits from abilities and block doors. Just be really good at what you do. Don't hide in a corner like all the other Customer players out there. Next we have is Fighter. Fighter's 2 abilities is a parry that stuns when the killer hits you, and a swing that also stuns when you hit them. For the first ability, Swing, Fighter lunges in the direction that they are facing and swings their weapon. This ability requires at least 1 charge to function. If the Fighter hits the killer will be stunned for 3 seconds, gaining additional debuff based on the number of parries that charges the axe has. 1 charge will stun and inflict 5 seconds of slowness. 2 charges will stun and inflict 5 seconds of blindness and deafness. 3 charges will stun and inflict 5 seconds of blindness, deafness, and confusion. If I had to rank the 3 tiers, 1 charge is the best you want to use. It gives 5 seconds of slowness and it's really good to slow down the killer a lot. 2 charges only gives blindness and deafness. It really doesn't do much. They still run the same speed so they can catch up really fast. But 3 charges is good because it inflicts the blindness, deafness, and confusion. Confusion is good, but like, it's not gonna get 3 charges before you swing, so the best just use 1 charge and inflict the slowness on the killer. The next ability is a parry. When you parry, you can't move for a couple of seconds, but if the killer hits you while you're parried, they get stunned for 2 seconds and you get another swing charge added to your swing. If they don't swing at your parry at all, you gain weakness for 2 seconds. Your main job as Fighter is to be the defender of your teammates. You want to prioritize people like security guards and medics because they will give the most value when you protect them. You always want to be around the chase, either putting yourself between the killer and your teammates who are in chase if possible, or being around where the chase is happening so you can swing in and get a swing or get a parry when you think the killer is about to swing. As Fighter, you counter all killers in your own way. For Springtrap, you can parry his rush attack, make one of his stronger moves weaker, and you can also hit while he's rushing because you can't get hit in the swing animation because you are immune to any damage. For Ennard, you are his biggest counter because you counter his one good move when he's not in Skin Stealer. You are able to parry his grab, and you always want to do this because you get a free charge for your swing and he gets stunned as well. This is why you want to put yourself between the killer and the survivor you're protecting, especially when it's an Ennard, because you can block that grab whenever he's trying to use it and just get free distance for you and your survivor. For Mimic, you counter him because when the Mimic picks up any of your teammates, you can stun him and knock your teammate out of his hand, saving them from lots of damage. Even if they do get thrown into a corner, you can still try and parry a swing or stun them and they can run away free. Your main strength as fighter is you counter just some really big moves that killers can use. You are like a wall to them. Just make sure when you're helping your team, you don't do stupid things with your blocks so you get a bunch of damage done to yourself. The next survivor is Medic. Medic's abilities are a heal to yourself, a self heal, or a heal that you can give to other teammates. Medic's first ability, if a teammate interacts with the medic, they and the medic will be put into a healing animation, healing the teammate by 5 HP every 2 seconds. The medic is only able to heal a teammate for 30 HP per heal. If the player the medic is healing is already at full health, they will get 15 shield of overhealth in the same 5 increments of health gained. With the overhealth, the player is allowed to take 1 hit of damage, blocking all the damage down and not taking any from the actual health, only taking away from the shield. Medic's next ability, Self Heal. The medic equips their medkit, becoming immobile and playing an animation of them bandaging themselves, healing 5 HP every second, up to a maximum of 40 HP in total. The self heal cannot be manually cancelled either, so be careful when you use it and don't do it when the killer's nearby because it makes a very audible sound. When healing a teammate, the bar at the bottom will fill up over time. When you want to cancel it early, do it right when I do, because that last little bit, the animation keeps going, but it doesn't actually heal again. Beginning of each match, find the closest survivor and immediately heal them. They will get the bonus shield and you won't have to wait for someone to be injured to get the heal up again. You can wait while the cooldown is waiting with you. It's best to get as much medic value as you can. As well as the overheal, you don't need to stack it to 15, you can stop it at 5 if you want, and it will stack and absorb the same damage and it won't go into their actual health. But if you wanted to get it to 15, they will be able to tank Wire Eyes with also still having a little bit of health left over. Also for the self heal, it's pretty self-explanatory, but don't heal when the killer's nearby. It makes a lot of sound and you can't cancel the animation, so you'll be injured even more than what you've healed. This is Medic. Try to stay alive and heal as much as you can. It is one of the best roles because you will keep everyone alive, keep constantly healing them, and it makes a killer a nightmare to play as. Next is Security Guard. For the first ability, the Taser, there's a lot to it on the wiki, but to be simple about it, you just gotta know about how much you gotta charge it. Below green, charge for less than 5 seconds, the user's movement speed is increased being roughly faster than walking speed duration, applies slowness to the killer for 3 seconds. Green, charge between 5 to 9 seconds. The player uses the normal walking speed while charging, applies slowness and daze for 5 seconds. Yellow, charge between 10 to 14 seconds. Decrease the user's movement speed while charging, applies slowness and confusion for 7 seconds. And red and above, charge between 15 and 19 seconds. Greatly reduces the user's movement speed while charging and applies slowness and silence for 9 seconds. And then when the taser reaches at 20 seconds, it automatically fires and it will release at full charge. Here we can see all the differences in the speed when it's fully charged and not. The second ability is Cams. You open up Cams and it will select the camera closest to the killer. It is used to ping the killer and is decent for information. Once you click on the killer, they will be pinged for 5 seconds. You always kind of want to be off to the side of the chase. Your job is to slow down the killer. You should see where the team is being looped and stand nearby, charge the taser, and shoot it when it's decently charged, giving your team distance. But then watch out, because when you do this, the killer might chase you, so just be careful. The ping is best used when Springtrap uses his scream. When he screams, everything is black for everyone, it's like goes all dark. But in cameras you can still see, you can ping him, and when you get out, it's highlighted red for everyone, and they can still see, and it makes it really easy to loop him. Just be careful when you are tasing, because an Ennard can grab you, or a Springtrap can throw his axe at you to cancel it, so just get behind cover as soon as you do it so they can't do that. Your main job as security guard is just give assistance from far away and support the team with your taser and pings. Finally is the technician. The first ability is mask on, and you're allowed to go phasing through objects that are highlighted while you have the mask on. It applies slowness penalty, increasing based on the type of object technician passes through. There are 3 tiers. Tier 1, generally small objects such as barrels, fallen objects, and pallets, grant slowness 1 for 1 second. Tier 2, generally walls, large obstacles, grant slowness 2 for 2 seconds. Tier 3, same as Tier 2, but an object that would give technician the largest advantage, grants slowness 3 for 3 seconds. And then the second ability, Static Mirage, the technician deploys a Tesla shield that applies slowness and daze debuffs to the killer when in range. It lasts for 20 seconds and can be destroyed by a single M1 from the killer. There really isn't much for the technician. It is the weakest survivor and is very just self-centered. The mask should only really be used in certain situations because of the slowness. Some examples are when you get trapped by a sprint trap or entered, and when the mimic is in dig, you can phase through a wall and get away or mess up the mimic. The technician Static Mirage, it's just really bad. It only lasts 20 seconds, but you just want to place them around corners or on doorways behind the door so that when the killer walks by, they get slowed. It just really isn't that good because of how long it lasts. It doesn't do anything to really help, but it does slow down Ennard when he's in skin stealer mode, and that's about the only really good thing it can do. It's just the duration really lacks any good potential behind it. Just if you want to play technician, just place them behind doors, and then if you ever get cornered, use the phase to get out of that situation, or use it in chase to give you some distance. It's really not the best survivor, but you can make it work, and it does help out a decent bit. That's all the tips I can give right now, but please let me know if I missed anything down in the comments, and thank you for watching.